Alrighty, one week and it's August, so I'm going to do a late July update, in particular because I finally finished, for the most part, the rock garden and the Pondless Waterfall. So, and in the distance you'll see a lovely little flat of flowers. This is going to be my reward. I'm not allowed to plant them in a big pot till I finish all of the little nitnoid activities that I needed to do, that I've been putting off for a very long time. And I'm in the home stretch. But I thought I'd take an opportunity when the dogs aren't out and my husband isn't mowing to record this. So I'll start with some of the nitnoids. I have got to get the celery out there, obviously. Sad. And I'm going to pot up my husband's redwoods. That was the tomato that was my just in case backup, that it's alive but it never grew from being constrained in the pot. Lemon tree is really sad. It didn't die completely and it has a new shoot, but my husband would like to get some type of an orange tree, a mandarin tree, something like that. So I'm getting myself a new lemon tree. The key lime tree did great. It survived last winter. The ginger is good. And I finally kind of cleaned out my potting bench over there. And I still have to work on the orange tree, but it's way too hot in there. It's hot enough outside. So we're saving that for a cooler, overcast day. So we come up to the Pondless Waterfall. I am pretty happy with the placement of everything at this point. I will pick a day a little later on this fall, possibly even as I'm getting closer to a warm winter day when I turn everything off, and then I will foam everything in place. The three Japanese maples, three different kinds of Japanese maples, are in. I put the mulch mat on top. I've done a little bit of fiddling with the branches using some bonsai wire, and I'm trying to start a new leader for the tree in the back right. So that's coming along. Pollinator bed is awesome. I bought myself some Stokesia and have more coming. I just love the Stokes aster. So that is part of what's going into the pot, as well as more hyssop, which I also love. And everything's good there. I didn't cut back the lavender because the bees enjoyed it so much. I need to. There is secondary bloom happening that the bees are still buzzing around and getting to, but I will need to take that out. Did cut back the nepeta. Been chopping on the basil. It's doing well. The sun credible, it's okay. I don't know if it's the heat this year, the constant heat. I don't know why. It's not been as happy as it was last year. And the blooms are a little smaller, not too much. I'm not complaining about that, but it's struggled a bit. I do like the two vermillionaires. Got a bunch of butterflies that come in and check out those, and the scarlet runner beans and the loofah flowers. So they're finding plenty. And the sage pot is doing really well. That's Russian sage and Bergamot sage. So I did move that one pot. It's cracking all to bits. So it's going to be gone this year. But the other two are still chugging along. Everything's good. The strawberries are good. I finally got some pink blooms. They are very cute. They're starting to fade. They were prettier yesterday, but those are some of the ones I started from seed in this bed. And I finally did put in a few dwarf sunflowers. This is actually a sunflower seed head that is up, but the plant hasn't popped the seed head, so I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. I found that squash bugs really like the... Ooh, there's one right now. Perfect. I keep my handy Castile soap and water ready, and I hit them. And you know what? They die. This really does work. Perhaps I should catch this on film. Or on video, I should say. Can I see you all in there? I went to the back side, but that doesn't matter. We'll go over there and have a look at you. So, Castile soap and water, I am a firm believer. They will die in place or fall off, depending on how precarious of a spot they're in. It's awesome. I just keep it out. Whenever I see any, I spritz them. And that does it. He's already starting to gasp. I'm going to go around to the other side. Apologies for the movement. This is a normal day in the garden. Let's find you on this side. Came over here. You're climbing. Have you fallen to your death already? Awesome. Castile soap and water. Wow, I've got it really magnified. Really does work. It's really awesome. So, like I said, this is a at the ready, take them out. Same thing over here. Every night around 7:30 is when I usually find them, and I am just spritzing and watching them fall. Trying to see if I see any. Yep, that went down yesterday. And I see their little carcasses. There's one. And there's another one. There he is. Or she. Doesn't matter. Usually in the act of mating, they are most vulnerable. So, they're stationary, you can see them, and they get spritzed as a pair, and they don't reproduce. What little egg masses I've found, I've taken off. And the nice thing is late in the afternoon, the sun is in the west, and I can look through the leaves and notice any, one, bug, and two, any egg masses. And I need to come through and cut everything back. I mean, it's not really helping me with the cucumber beetle. I have a little bit of wilt because of those. But I'm certainly taking care of the squash bugs this way. So, quite pleased. Okay, so we continue. And they seem to prefer the honey nut butternut squash, which is perfect now that I put all the onions. Calendula is still going strong. I pick so many cucumbers a day from the group. It's insane. The tomatoes are lovely. I am not growing loofahs again. They are beast. I spent last weekend just hacking this back. It's crazy. I mean, the flowers are gorgeous. The hummingbirds love them, but sorry, not next year. Probably not ever again. But I have some good sized loofahs forming, so everyone gets a loofah for Christmas. And you can see the backside of the bell peppers and the eggplants, and they're doing well. And the tomato jungle is still a jungle, but I'm going to try to come in and thin it out in just a few minutes. And the indeterminate tomatoes, well, they have certainly gone higher than I necessarily want them to. They are producing gloriously. I've decided I'm not doing Golden Jubilees again next year because I'd rather see red. Red is easier to say, hey, they're ripe, than the golden ones. The little cherry tomatoes, aside from being adorable, are delicious. Mortgage lifters, I've already got 6 or 7 in. Lovely, sweet, nice, fleshy slicer. So very happy with that. Of course, a lot of weight, and we had a big windstorm come through. So far, it hasn't impacted their ability to finish and mature, but so noted, I'm learning. I'm going to pull the carrots out a little later on today. I've got a few pretty big ones in there, but I just need to get them out. They're suffering. It's time. I hacked the borage back the other day, and still has a few blooms going, but I've got borage going in other places. And like I said, you can see the backside of the eggplants. I've got a black beauty, I think it is, a bunch of Asians, and in between the leaves, you can see little hints of orange. Those are the Turkish eggplants, which are really cute. They're like the size of small tomatoes. So, okay. The beans, the heat has done a number. So, it is what it is. I have started new ones, and I've got ginger coming up in there too, so that's good. Now, a positive thing are the grapes. Oh, they're so cute. And they look lovely. I love this one shot looking up. So they're coming along. I mean, they're just table grapes, so, you know, that's all they're for. And this is only year 2. So we'll have to see. Strawberries continue to go strong. I may replace that rosemary. It's kind of recovering, but it's been a sad recovery. And that one has bounced back from being overwatered last year, so that's good. But the rosemaries in the bed are happy, so those may come out and be replaced with something else. I don't know, to be determined. Here's the front of the tomato jungle. Jesus. I have tomatoes. The hascaps have grown nicely. They've about doubled in size since I got them. So nice little row coming on. Here's the back side of the waterfall. I'm still forming it up back here aesthetically, but very pleasing sound. Quite happy with it. Still have to get rid of these rocks now, but I'm going to cut that tarp out. That and another one are going to be run along here, and I'm going to cardboard, tarp, gravel, and put some of my paving stones on it, the flagstone and slate. And I'm going to make an entrance to the back side of this from over there, because when the hascaps, honeyberries, get big enough, they should be, 6 foot by 6 foot. So it'll be good to pick the berries from the other side, and then of course I'll have room on this side to pick. I've got a little bit of blossom end rot on the peppers. I gave them CalMag, seeing how they're going. I think the new ones coming out are looking better, so I'll continue to give them CalMag for a few more days. Here are the cute little Turkish eggplants. They're eggplant. They taste like eggplant. They're just small and round and cute. And the Asian eggplants, which are just long and thin. Supposed to be best when they're picked between 3 and 6 inches before the seeds really form up, so that's what I'm doing. These are peanuts. No clue. Put some in, thought I'd see what happened. And I did put some celeriac in. I've got 3 in there just to see if I can get anything to head up. The amaranth, I got the burgundy, whatever it is. None of the Love Lies Bleeding that I put in there actually came up, and that was primarily because we had a bit of a burrowing something trying to go in there, which I had to Molmax, and now the little burrowing thing has come up in this bed, so I'm going to Molmax this bed in a little bit. But I got out all the brassicas. Now I'm left with kale. Every now and then I find a little tear. I need to sew those up. I did find a white butterfly in there 2 days ago. Not happy about that. So, yeah, they need no access. I may go to a little stronger netting next time. I'm not sure. Oh, and I've got assassin bugs in here, and I've got a praying mantis. So, for those who don't know what an assassin bug is, that's an assassin bug. Seems to have caught something. So anyway, and then all the potatoes have been harvested, so that bed is ready for fall planting. I had volunteer Love Lies Bleeding amaranth come up. I had amaranth in this corner last year, and so I have a few tenacious ones that they've survived. So, alrighty. I'm giving a bit of water. I think they're pretty. I don't really know what I would do with them, but I've got a couple of bushing, well, 5 I should say, bushing cucumbers. They produce shorter ones, 5 inches, 6 inches, and a little plump. They're perfect for cutting the tips off and slicing them up for sandwiches. So those are in there. And then this is Swiss chard going to seed. There's another Love Lies Bleeding amaranth. I have lettuce going to seed. I have perpetual spinach going to seed. Some of it's farther along than others. And out of curiosity, you can see I've got big holes too. And I went ahead and threw in some cabbages to see what would happen, as well as sweet potato. It's interesting. All of this is a science experiment until I get really serious about it. So, and then, as you can see, the pollinator bed is quite happy. So, as I zoom in, there are just lots of activity over there. Everything flitting around, happy as can be. And again, I love the Stokesia, that Stokes aster. That is just the star of it. The Joe Pye weed is coming on. I didn't have the problem with those little black caterpillars from the silver checkered, whatever it is, butterfly from last year that just decimated all of my coneflowers, rudbeckia, etc. So, and I truly do love the hose link that I have not even finished putting in my drip system, because I don't mind watering with the hose. It was awful last year when I was coiling it, but that thing, it is a game changer. So I think I'm going to get another one, because then I can put the gray one there and I'll put the white one farther out, because I'm going to build 3 more of the 4x16 beds on the way to the entrance for the Kubota to come in here at those gates. And then I'll be able to rotate onions, garlic, brassicas, lettuce, carrots, the root vegetables, beets, parsnips, etc. all through there. So, and that will give me just this main square to do tomatoes and peppers, and beans and peas, because apparently I need much more room. And I didn't put in as many tomatoes this year as I did last year. And did that matter? No. It's a jungle. But I did hugelkultur, so I'll be adding another 6+ inches of compost and leaf mold again, and really fertilizing it over the winter to get it all set up for this year, or for this coming year. Yes, I'm already planning next year's garden. So, but everything is doing really well. And final notes, the 3 living apple trees out there are going to be dug up this fall. They do have some apples, and they'll be brought in here to join the 6 apple trees we have in the back, and that'll give us a nice little orchard of 9 inside the deer fencing. So the only thing we have to worry about are the groundhogs, which I saw a groundhog inside the fence by the shed this morning. So I know they have a home under the shed. I think it's just slipping through the fence. I mean, it's big enough at the bottom that a small groundhog can get through, and bunnies. And we have, of course, dogs that want very much to get to the bunnies and the groundhogs, and that's a whole other story for another time. But the garden has come along nicely. I'm quite pleased, and loving the Pondless Waterfall. Still have a little bit of rock placement, and then some small finer rocks to spread around, and that's done. Getting closer to being able to just relax and enjoy, instead of in constant project mode and 90-degree heat with humidity, which is truly awful. So anyway, there'll be an August update for what's going on here. Hopefully the pollinators remain as happy as they are, and I will have cleaned up a few more of the projects that I haven't done, which is sad, but it's getting there. So, as I mentioned to others, it's a process, and getting closer.